Hello everyone, Aquarian 73 here with the 13th audio recording related to confessions from beyond the senses. I will carry on with the subjects I had ended in the previous audio recording, having to do with the numerical description related to the process of creation from source all the way to the manifested form and back to source. Hence we went from one source, one infinite source, moving to will expressed, giving birth to two, to division, to duality. And within duality there is a process that links duality, contains it, and expresses it. And that is the three-form, the three-fold nature present in all things. Every expression has a pulse, and the pulse gives rise to two aspects, being and not being. The first being is the fourth and is expressed in the manifest world as we know it, and the following one is the fifth, which has to do with dissolution, with going back to the source. And so basically the fourth element, the fourth number, the number 4 within the process, is the one where the reptilian consciousness arises, and the fifth is where the luminous consciousness comes from. Beyond that, we move to the concept of 6, which is the coming together of both the reptilian and the light consciousnesses meeting in the middle within the human consciousness, finding equilibrium. And you find the symbol in many spiritual schools, the symbol of the human being, where the aim is to bring balance and equilibrium between the high and the low. And from that we move to the 7, and the 7th is the process of return. It is the process of return to the source. Once equilibrium is created, there is dissolution, there is decay, there is destruction of form to return to source. This is a healthy process. This is a wanted process. The process of that every human being is called towards. It is embedded in our very nature, in our very spiritual nature, in our very making, be it physical, emotional, or energetic even. There is always this call to return to perfection, to completion, which cannot be attained within the structural frame of the manifest world, which is ruled by the 4 pattern, the cube, if one might say, as a symbol. Whereas the 3 is described as energy and as a triangle in most spiritual schools. The matter, the solid, the palpable, the material world is described as a square or as a cube in three-dimensional form. And having said that, with the 5 elements aligned along our spine, since our spine is one of the few spines that exist on the planet of living beings that is aligned in that direction, uprooted, moving, able to move unlike trees, which are harmonically grown, designed, built, set. We are a spine that is expressing a search for the lights, a search for equilibrium between the lower energy and the higher energy, the reptilian and the light energy. And we have 5 elements embedded inside being and not being, being as the root chakra, as the Muladhara, and not being as the Sahasrara or the crown chakra. These 2 chakras through which form the high point and the low point of the entry passageway within the torus form of the creation, as a matrix of energy, as a matrix of consciousness. are where are the hole in the brackets that hold the 5 other elements aligned. And consciousness either rises or drops depending on the settings we are born into, the lives we lead, the possibilities we get, and the work we do. Um, One must say at this point that the reptilian consciousness has always hijacked all spiritual methodologies that lead to the light, that lead to an ascension in consciousness. Reptilians are very good, the reptilian consciousness is very good at adapting, at finding loopholes to pervert every system that has risen within the human consciousness, to rise higher, to cleanse, to purify itself from the reptilian consciousness, to burn that reptilian consciousness and move upward. The reptilian consciousness is always looking for loopholes, and it has always found loopholes and ways to corrupt systems, be it religious, be it social, be it spiritual, be it esoteric, be it mystery schools. Every system has been corrupted. You can see that in yoga. You can see that in alchemy. You can see that in every possible way. Whenever man finds a connection, the connection is perverted and spread out among the people as a perverted system to further lower the human being consciousness towards the reptilian. So I say beware of yoga as a system to purify yourself. Unless you are impeccable with yourself, beware of yoga. And I'll leave it to that. Of course, all this is to be taken with a grain of salt. I wish you all a wonderful life journey. Thank you again for your time, and be well.